On with the third U.S. panel, and I'm very happy to be here with Alexis Gordon, who is from the city of Charlotte, North Carolina, a wonderful city. I'm extremely biased because I was born in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I'm really happy to have you, Alexis, tell us a bit about the city of Charlotte. And what we are, the reason we also have a panel on a U.S. city in this this CE Digital Services is that two things. There are a number of Central European technology companies who are looking to expand in the U.S. and are looking for locations to set up a base to expand into the rest of the U.S. That's one thing. But second thing is that we have found that many of the chambers of commerces in the cities and the cities themselves have found it wise to partner with technology companies in Central Europe, because that helps support their local startups and scale-ups. So Alexis can tell us a bit about Charlotte and what you have to offer for technology companies. And I think you've got a presentation, correct, Alexis?
Yes, I do. So I'll go ahead and set up a share screen, but it's so awesome to meet a Charlottean.
Yes.
Who is Charlotte, because even in Charlotte, we consider native Charlotteans unicorns. So it's really great to be abroad. So let me go ahead and share my screen. And then after the presentation, I'll come back on and you guys can ask me questions.
Great.
Let me make this
working. It's working. Yep, we got it.
Okay, great. So welcome for our presentation on how cities can help. So Charlotte is one of the largest cities in the United States. We're now number 16. We're ahead of San Francisco. A lot of people don't know that, especially in the tech industry. Our city is larger population-wise. Partially that is because we are having a lot of people move here from the Bay Area and also New York City and other major metropolitans across the US, because our cost of living is lower. So we are in the midst of an economic renaissance. So basically we are attracting lots and lots of corporations that are coming here, as well as new startups. So we have quite a healthy atmosphere for startups as well, and partnering between them.
Alexis, you may have been still asleep because it's so early there, but earlier, a couple of hours ago, we had a presentation from a guy named Laszlo Balashi, who lived for 25 years in Budapest and has set up his new startup in Charlotte. So to your point.
Yep, and it's great. We have people who are moving here from all over the world. And I think I do have a slide just to talk a little bit about that as well. But it's really great because we're getting not just these major headquarters. So I did want to touch on the fact that we've had Cognizant have a major expansion here. Lowe's Home Improvement is moving their R&D here. So there's some good back-end programs for that. Red Ventures, which is a homegrown organization in our Charlotte region, they just bought CNET. So they're expanding as well. We also have quite a lot. We're known as a banking town because of the tallest building there that looks like a handle on it. That is the Duke Energy building. That is the largest energy corporation in the United States. And the other tallest building, that is the Bank of America headquarters. So we have quite a few between Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Truist is now headquartered here. That was BB&T and SunTrust. They merged. So we are the second largest financial center in the United States after New York City. So we have quite a lot of fintechs. Avid Exchange is another one of those. They are an actual unicorn. We have 3 unicorns. One is Trisata. They're an AI. We also have another AI company called Stratified that is just expanding globally now. That is also homegrown. So we have quite a lot of talent in the tech industry in Charlotte. It's not just the headquarters. But the main reason for that is we have 102 new people moving to the Charlotte region every day. We are the #1 state North Carolina is for business, and we are the 3rd fastest growing large city in the United States. We also have the 2nd best airport for business travelers, and it is the 6th busiest in the world. So it's quite a great place to be. We are the #1 best metro for STEM job growth. That was from Forbes a couple years ago. And as you can see in some of these stats, we have quite a lot of headquarters here. So that gives a lot of partnership opportunities for any subsidiary that is here, that you're going to have a chance to help some of the back end work that happens with these corporations. We also have a very low corporate income tax. and for our state. And so we are one of the best states for the total tax burden all around, including the fact that our utilities are very low. So that's been important for a lot of folks that are moving here in the tech industry because of the need for electricity. Just some more, we have over 70 companies that have R&D here, and it's R&D in all sorts of different fields. We have a lot of STEM and a lot of entrepreneurial ventures. So we had over 4,000 entrepreneurial ventures created in our region in 2018. So we are always growing, and a lot of that has to do with the different hackathons that our organizations host. So we have Tech Talent South. They do a lot of tech training in our area because we have so much demand for new tech talent. We also have the Fintech Hub is located here. They work with a lot of the smaller startups that are in the fintech industry. Also, we've got some folks that are doing blockchain and some other technology through that. Another really great place we have is Epic. They focus on energy. They're up at the university doing research in the energy field and in technology that's helping better be sustainability for energy. We have quite a lot of solar in North Carolina, so that has a lot of potential for entrepreneurship as well in startups. Charlotte is a place where innovation happens. It's a great place to to invest, and in fact, the city itself, we are investing, and I think it's important for us to show that we also invest in the city. So we're trying to improve affordable housing options. We are more affordable than most of the Northeast and the Bay Area and Seattle as well. We have much more affordable living, but for the South, we are trying to make sure that we keep our housing options open so that people can afford to live here. Because as we grow, the market is hot for real estate. So we want to make sure we keep that going. So we are also investing quite a lot in our airport. We have, out of the 178 nonstop destinations from our airport, we actually have 65 connections that you can get to go abroad. Most folks that are coming in from Poland are usually flying through either Munich or Frankfurt, and we have direct flights to both of those cities. And also Heathrow, if that's where you prefer to fly through. These are some of our most recent headquarters expansions and relocations. Honeywell, Truist, I mentioned. Also Better.com, it's an online mortgage company. LendingTree is also here. They're another one in the financial industry. And so this is just, I can talk all day about how great our city is. I think to hear from other people. Darius has been a wonderful person. Honeywell picked Charlotte out of quite a few cities, moved down here from up north. And, what he said is that they looked at their top 10 reasons why what they wanted. And at the end of the day, it was just livability. And Charlotte had that. We are a place where people want to be. We have quite a young population, and that kind of leads me to my next, which is our talent pool. We have a hugely diverse talent pool, and we're nationally ranked for our universities in both of the Carolinas, and also just the expansion of opportunities that are here. So this is just a little bit more about our talent pipeline. Again, we're very strong in headquarters, but also in tech talent, which is a growing industry here. And then I was going to go ahead just so you guys can kind of see. These are all the wonderful universities. Most people know Duke and Chapel Hill. They're just down the road from us within 3 hours. Plus we have UNC Charlotte, which is a research university here.
I'm glad you got University of Virginia on that map. Thank you very much, Alexis.
Yeah, you're very welcome. It's, for Cavaliers.
Exactly, yes.
The diversity and inclusion is a huge part of Charlotte, in that the fact that we're a global city. 35% of our foreign-born population here actually has a bachelor's degree or higher. It's actually quite high in our STEM workforce, as well as mainly foreign-born. The number 16% foreign-born population is actually a little low. We're up to 17 now. And to give you kind of a comparison for that, the city of Atlanta only has 7% foreign-born population. We have 17. New York City has 36. So we're like halfway there to New York City's. But it's really great to see that our immigrant population, our expats, have wonderful support here. We actually have a Polish Saturday school in Charlotte. So we have a growing population from Poland, and so we have a Saturday school so people can keep up with language skills and Polish history and literature. And it's really kind of cool to be able to have that here in our city. And then, like I said, we're a millennial magnet. So a lot of people are looking for that younger family resource. Interestingly enough, as our millennials move here, we're also getting an influx of boomers. I'm a Generation X, so we're here too. But it's been quite interesting to see how this influx of millennial talent is changing the face of our city. This is a place where innovation happens. Again, I just wanted to give you guys a little bit more information on our R&D. And some of this is kind of a repeat. So I just wanted to drive home that fact that we have a lot of research here, a lot of technology, especially in our startup world. So I hope from this, I know it was a whirlwind, but I want to make sure I have time for your questions. We are really known as a dynamic city that is really outpacing others in growth, and that we do a lot. So like one of the things I wanted to touch on too, and I can kind of touch more on this as we're talking to some of the incidents we have. But most important, I want you guys to contact me, because no matter what I say today, you know, I'm talking fast because I want to make sure that we have some time. But you can always write me, and you feel free to write me in whatever language you feel most comfortable in, because I always have somebody on call who can help me translate. And so please make sure you give me a call or you email me at some point in time. So my email address is agordon@charlottenc.gov. It's in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Got it. So, thanks for that whirlwind tour de force presentation on Charlotte. Alexis, a couple of questions. In terms of the European markets, Charlotte really has I can say, kicked ass in the last 10 years, 15 years of getting US HQs to move to Charlotte, and you went down a long list of them. And the German investment in North Carolina, Charlotte has been very big over the years.
Yes.
How is Charlotte doing attracting investment from other parts of Europe? I'm just not aware of it. I mean, French, Italian, Eastern European. I mean, I don't know if that's even become something at all, but I'm curious to know if that's even on your radar screen to target Central East European, Ukrainians, Polish, Romanian, Hungarians.
So that's actually starting to kick up more. We recently got a Hungarian honorary consul here. So he's been helping me bring in some Hungarian delegations. A lot of times when folks come for Select USA, we are one of the road shows that they'll come and visit us for. We've had folks from Hungary, from the Ukraine, from Poland come here. Naturally, we also get some attention because of our sister cities. So for the city of Charlotte, we utilize our sister cities for more than culture. Our Polish sister city is Wrocław. And
that's where we are right now. We're in Wrocław.
That's where you're right now.
Yes.
So, yep, that's our Polish sister city. And we've had a couple delegations come from there over time. I actually had a EdTech and Fintech delegation from Poland with 8 companies come last summer. And a lot of people that are coming here are coming for the reasons you were stating, looking for that, how do I set up a subsidiary so that I can do partnerships? And one of the reasons we say you do need to set up a subsidiary is it really does help with that trust building and having someone local. Because this is great, the technology that we're using, and now everyone's getting more used to it with Zoom and all the different platforms that are out there. But it still is something where people want to be able to be part of a hackathon, get out there, get your name out there. And so we highly recommend that. But starting a subsidiary doesn't mean you need to bring, 50 people here. It doesn't mean you need to hire 20 people here. You can come and start small in one of our incubators, something like our Fintech Hub, or Packard Place is another wonderful incubator that we have for technology companies. And you can start as small as just using a shared space like a WeWorks, or going ahead and getting an office. And we have a lot of different opportunities for that. We've had some Russian firms come through in the last 5 years as well. And I have had a delegation from the Czech Republic as well looking at business opportunities. So a lot of foreign firms, I'll say, like, for example, Husqvarna, which is Swedish, they have part of their R&D here, and we are their North American headquarters because they can find talent that speaks French and Spanish, so they can communicate from the Caribbean, Mexico, all the way up to Canada for the Quebecois in French with talent that they have here in Charlotte. And so that is something that is really interesting. It's kind of fun when I had a Swedish company ask me, hey, how do I get more connected with the French community in Charlotte? Because I'm looking for more French speakers. And so, again, the diversity of our talent here is one of those reasons why we're seeing such a broad aspect. I mean, the Germans came here mostly for manufacturing and textiles originally. It has moved into machining and now even mechatronics. We have Siemens here. They have we're their largest manufacturing site for turbines. Almost all the turbines in the world are manufactured or repaired here in Charlotte and then shipped globally. So we are quite a large logistics hub. We have, if you do have somebody who is attached to manufacturing, that's a lot of opportunities here to move goods around. And so that has helped a lot. So you'll find a lot of German manufacturing firms here. We have quite a few French firms. We have a couple Dutch firms as well. You'll see a lot either in manufacturing, advanced industry, and also in the financial sector. We have quite a few firms in the financial sector and services. So, for example, we have a couple German law firms here as well because they're catering to the German companies that are here. But they, as a law firm, they're doing services, but they will always need other partnerships for that. And so it's quite interesting to see how we connect globally in Charlotte.
And is the city of Charlotte, I've seen this in other cities from the US, like Denver and quite a few others have done trips over to Central Eastern Europe, a 3 or 5 day trip, usually with the Chamber of Commerce. Is that something, of course, not this year, it's an unusual year, but in terms of past or in future next year, does the city of Charlotte with the business community do sort of road shows into Europe or Central Europe occasionally, or is that something you might do?
It's occasional, and it's something that's always on the table to look at. As a government, we have to be very careful with how we use our tax dollars. However, our partners are often, we use them. So we have what's called the Charlotte Regional Alliance. They're our version of a chamber, and they take trips to Europe I want to say monthly. It's not quite that much, but it's very close to both Western and Central Europe in particular. I know that they have done some outreach in Central Europe a couple of times with their staff. They have two people that work just on global that I partner with most often. And so we do a lot of partnerships between them. For myself, I don't get to have a budget for travel, but on occasion I have when our mayor decides to travel. So having that relationship with Wrocław gives another reason for us to travel. We also have one with Voronezh, Russia. Something else we have started doing, we are in talks with a region, I can't talk about which region, but a region in the Ukraine right now. To have a memorandum of understanding for exchanges, particularly in the business field. I have a list of 20 countries that say they want to come here as soon as travel opens back up. So that's something very exciting for us. And I have gotten a chance to travel before. So I've had delegations reach out to me and say, hey, we're very interested in Charlotte, but we're only in the US for 5 days. And I know how large this country is because I have family that lives out in California. So it's not an easy hop on a train and be there tomorrow. So I have often met people in Washington, D.C. or New York City. We've also had folks who just connected through Charlotte. If you fly on American or Lufthansa, Charlotte is a major connector for them into the United States. And I've had people book a layover tiny bit longer so they can stretch their legs, and I will meet with them at the airport. We try to make sure that if you're coming through our city, we want to have a chance to meet you. Because We really do believe that that person-to-person relationship, you're just going to have a better time understanding each other and be able to talk.
Well, let's get Charlotte to come over to Wrocław. We were having wines last night with the city of Wrocław's investment promotion new president, and I'm not speaking for her, but let me invite the city of Charlotte to come to Wrocław. Let's put it together. It would be interesting connections. I think something can come from that. Yeah.
Most definitely. And if their mayor comes, we hope that they bring entrepreneurs with them.
Good. I'll pass on the message. Yes. Okay. Alexis, tell us a bit about the cities. I would view Charlotte. I didn't realize it was as big as it is now. It's of course always been growing since I've been alive, and the city I've typically thought of as a mid-sized city, but right now, given the mayhem in New York and Philadelphia and San Francisco and Portland, the mid-sized cities are becoming more favored, even the smaller towns, let's say. Do you feel that yet in Charlotte? Can you feel, I'm just curious, the emotion, the feeling, the gut instinct about that right now?
Yes. A lot of people are looking at us. I think what's great about Charlotte, so I moved here originally for university from, my family was living in Italy at the time, but I moved here because of the international airport, because I did not want to take 5 flights to get home. And so I moved to Charlotte and went to university near here. And
Winthrop College, you told me.
Winthrop, just over the border, Winthrop. Yes. And I went to graduate school in the Netherlands. And I was not planning to move back to the United States, but I was using Charlotte for some research on global growth of municipalities and how they interact more globally. And when I came back here, the growth that happened in the 2 years of me being in Europe was just amazing. And since I've moved back roughly 10 years ago, I would say our population has just boomed and opportunities have boomed. I have people who ask me all the time, why didn't you move back to DC? Why aren't you out west with your family? And I'm like, because the opportunities that are in Charlotte. You are right at the crest of a city that is growing, and you get to ride that wave of growth, especially when you're starting out with a company. And I think that's one of the reasons people are coming here. And it feels safer because we still have that ability to have that one-on-one touch. If you're in a New York, if you're in a San Francisco, and something goes wrong with the permit for your office, or you need more security at your office, or you need help with your taxes. Maybe you want tax incentives, you're getting ready to grow. It's going to take a while to get to the right person. Here, you call me and it's done.
Alexis, in the COVID times, no one-on-one touch. There's no one-on-one touch at all.
No one-on-one, no. But we try our best.
I know your point. Sure. That's social distancing. Let me ask you about, we're going to wrap up in about 4 or 5 minutes. Let me ask you a kind of a somewhat counterintuitive theory or question that's come up. Some of the U.S. cities, as I mentioned, in chambers of commerce actually have said that they're keen to work with us here because they are trying to retain or attract smaller tech companies, startups who don't have a huge technology access in their existing city. And so they're looking to tap into global networks of tech talent. Is that something that seems to be something that cities like Charlotte might look at, or is that theory makes sense? Because in one way, you would say that people would say, "Oh, you're actually putting jobs somewhere else." But I think some cities like Austin have said, "Look, we can't provide all the tech talent you need, but we're going to help you connect to global companies that can help you do the tech talent, stay in Austin, develop in Austin, do your software development in Central Europe." Is that something that seems to make sense for Charlotte?
For Charlotte, it really is about what jobs are where and how we are creating jobs. And for sure, I will say that I have seen where relationships where you're incubating ideas together, that can grow more jobs, and that can grow jobs on both sides. And so that mutual benefit is something that I think all cities are excited about. In Charlotte, we don't see it as that zero-sum game. The winner takes everything. We think that everyone gets a piece of the pie, and if you run out of more pie, you make more pie, right?
Sure.
So for us, we want, of course, we want to bring more jobs here. All of our tax incentives are based on jobs. And so North Carolina, we have kinds of but-for clauses and things on how we can give incentives for companies to come here. But most of what we do is looking for that partnership base that you're discussing. Like, how can we work together? Maybe you open a 3-person office here so that you can work on things more closely. But that might mean that in that 3-person office, you're doing bigger projects at home. But you want to have that connection. And so it's something that for us, it's a win to show those global connections, because, the innovation in our city is driven by those new ideas and that new diversity. So having that presence here is important, but I think having the presence here really does open up opportunities for that flow of work to happen across, the digital divide that is the Atlantic, right?
Right.
I think that is something that is super important, and that we don't shy away from it. We don't want to offshore jobs that are here, but if we can grow jobs in both places, that is something we definitely want to see more.
Right. Okay. Great. Alexis, thank you very, very much. We're going to stay on time and wrap up here now. Thank you very much. Thank you also very much for your very quick decision to join us. And great to hear how thriving Charlotte is. Great city. And again, we're very keen to cooperate with you any way we can here in Central Eastern Europe, whether it's in Poland or Ukraine or Hungary or Romania. But let us know. We're very much keen to do that. So thank you very much. And please feel free to stay in the afternoon. And for those who are still on the screen here, we will go into our 4th and final U.S. panel. We'll now shift to the West Coast of the U.S. with Garth Holsinger. I'm going to close this screen, hop on the next one in a second. Alexis, thank you again.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you very much. Bye.